Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk some Manny Pacquiao, Rolly Romero news. Yesterday I spoke in a short about Manny Pacquiao and his promotional company and the fact that they're going to put on their first event in November in America. And I said, there's a good chance Manny Pacquiao puts himself on that card and it could be against Rolly Romero. We'd have to wait and see. Manny Pacquiao wanting title fights on that card. It seems as though that fight card will now be a title eliminator as a main event and some other random fights within it. And as of last night, it is rumored that Rolly Romero vs Manny Pacquiao is set to be finalized for a bout in Las Vegas in January. Good fight for Manny Pacquiao. I mean, the fact that this guy at 46 is going to come out of nowhere and get two title fights in a row is unbelievable. He's going to get massive paydays, win, lose, or draw. And Rolly Romero, the same. I think this is a good draw for Rolly Romero. It's a very easy, in my opinion, person to face. And it's a very, very, very comfortable payday. I think the risk versus reward here is heavily in the favor of Rolly Romero. I don't see there being a massive risk in taking on 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao. And I think there's a massive reward. I still think he's a big draw. If they put it on the right day of an empty weekend, unlike what they did with the last fight, I think if they put it on an empty weekend, they can draw big numbers on pay-per-view and make a lot of money. Now, my slander for the fact that Manny Pacquiao has got a title shot will not be as heavy in this one, because I'll put it to you this way. Any fighter ever that has been in a title fight and has won or drawn has gone on in their next fight to have a title fight. The fact is, Manny Pacquiao is coming off a title fight draw. Now, I'm more than happy to slander the fact that he got the first fight in. The fact that Manny Pacquiao was given a title shot should be condemned. But Manny Pacquiao, based off record, is coming off a draw in a title fight. So he basically deserves a title fight next. Should he have got the first title fight? No. Fuck no, he shouldn't have got the title fight. Did he let himself down? Did he give any cause of action to say he doesn't deserve another go at it? No. So, Rolly Romero, I think he's going to play this very, very, very smart. I think, like I said, there's no easier person to fight in a title fight. Though Manny Pacquiao did get a draw, I think Mario Barrios is the worst champion in the world right now. Feel free in the comments to tell me if I'm wrong. If there's a person that you think that currently has a belt that is worse than Mario Barrios, I'd love to hear it, because I think he is by far, in terms of talent and boxing ability and everything else, Mario Barrios is the worst world champion right now. I think the way in which his last two fights have gone, the fact that he, by a lot of people, including myself, think he lost to Manny Pacquiao after Manny Pacquiao didn't fight for 4 years and got thrown into a title shot at 46 years old. Yeah, it's, for me, Mario Barrios is at the bottom of the ladder of champions right now. Rolly Romero, someone that I don't give a lot of praise to. I don't think he is an elite fighter. I don't think he is going to hold the championship belt for very long unless he gets easy draws. And to be honest, in welterweight, there is a lot of easy draws. He's a good fighter, but we've seen numerous times him get beat. He's got flaws in his game, and to be honest, he's not the most exciting fighter. He's for entertainment value on the microphone and everything else. Yeah, he's quite good. But in terms of pure boxing ability, any world champion fighter, in my opinion, that has Ryan Garcia hurt in the second round gets rid of Ryan Garcia. And the fact that that went to a decision when Ryan Garcia looked like he couldn't care less on the fight, I expected Rolly Romero to get him out of there after dropping him early. Let's talk about Rolly Romero's options here. Now, when you look at Rolly Romero, and I was questioning who's he going to fight next, especially immediately after Ryan Garcia, I thought there's a good chance we see Ryan Garcia too. Ryan Garcia obviously goes for surgery and doesn't look as though he has any interest in a rematch. Or Devin Haney. That was the other name that I thought we're going to see next for Rolly Romero. Devin Haney, after searching for all his options, ends up with Brian Norman Jr., so they're going to fight in November, and that fight then puts out Rolly Romero versus Devin Haney for any sort of short-term fight. In terms of other names, this is where I get a bit caught up in the welterweight because I'm thinking there's no one there, eh? If you want to make money, there's no one there. Especially not immediately. Everybody sort of has fights. Anybody worth fighting has a fight set. Anybody that's sort of ranked, they're ranked highly, but nobody really knows who they are. Nobody really cares, if I'm being honest. You look at Gearsov, the number one ranked in the WBA, very good fighter, 17-0, IBF North American champion. That'd be a good fight. Amantas Stanionis, he just fought, since losing to Boots earlier this year, he fought last month, beating Mackenzie in Lithuania. He won that by unanimous decision. But then after the fight says he's not sure what he's going to do now. He's going to take a vacation and decide if he wants to continue boxing. Bit of a motivation problem there. Not a big name either. It's a good fighter. I think Amantas Stanionis is a very good fighter. But in terms of a name, in terms of the hype, in terms of everybody getting around it, it wouldn't be a fight. And neither would Raul Curiel. Maybe Pat McCormack, but I still think Pat McCormack is not there yet. Silver medalist, 8-0 professionally, but I still think he hasn't fought anybody elite or even world level yet professionally, so he still needs to have another 4 fights, before I'm saying, yeah, this guy's in a title fight. Depending on who he fights. If his next fight is a world level fighter, then we can shorten that to maybe 1 or 2 fights. You beat a world level fighter, you're a silver medalist, you can get yourself a title shot, especially in this division. So there's not a whole lot of options out there. I'd love to hear from you guys to tell me who you would prefer to see Rolly Romero fight, because everybody is sort of caught up in a fight or have been in a fight recently. Like, if I look at some of the names that I haven't even spoken about yet, you've got not much left. You've got Lewis Crocker in the IBF. He's a champion, but he's just fought. You've got Conor Benn, who's got a fight coming up. Who else are you going to look at? Liam Parrow, but I don't even think he's ranked in the WBA. So, in terms of, is this the right move for Rolly Romero? I don't think there is a better move for Rolly Romero. I know lots of people will be more interested in this fight now. I think Manny Pacquiao proved that he can still compete at a high level. Is that a high enough level to not be caught by a big left hand from Rolly Romero and get knocked out? I'm not sure, to be honest. I think Rolly Romero, he's got something that Mario Barrios doesn't possess, and that's the power to knock you out. And Manny Pacquiao up at welterweight at 46. Actually, if this fight happens in January, he'll be 47. I'm not sure Manny Pacquiao can eat too many big left hands from Rolly Romero if he lands them like he did on Ryan Garcia. So I think there's some question marks about how this fight will go, whether Manny Pacquiao can replicate his performance. A veteran fighter, yeah, they might come out of retirement and perform once at a high level, whether that's because they've had that one last fight in, whether it's because their opponent didn't take it seriously, thought this will be easy, he's 46, and surprised their opponent, which I don't think happened in the first one. I think Mario Barrios is actually just that poor. And then, they could come out in the second fight and get absolutely slated. I know this isn't a veteran fighter I'm going to compare it to, but you look at someone like Francis Ngannou, comes out and fights Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury not really taking it that seriously, I don't think, coming into it. Tyson Fury ends up in a very, very tough fight, one that some people think he lost. There is a very good argument for the fact that he lost that fight. And then you say, oh, well, Francis Ngannou really competed with Tyson Fury. I reckon he can give it a real good go against AJ. And then AJ just flatlines him. You look at that and you think something very similar could happen in this fight. There's no doubt Rolly Romero could stop Manny Pacquiao in this fight. Do I want to see that? Probably not. I don't really want to see Manny Pacquiao fighting at 47. But if you're going to take that risk at an elite level and you get flatlined by Rolly Romero, well, that's your own fucking fault, isn't it? Look, I think if Rolly Romero wins this fight, especially if he wins it by stoppage, this will be the last time we see Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao, if he lost to Mario Barrios, we wouldn't have seen him again. I think the fact that he got a draw, there is more eyes on Manny Pacquiao because he went 12 rounds, probably got robbed of a belt, and you can now look at the fight and say, well, Manny Pacquiao should have had a belt, should have won. He's got a very good chance against Rolly Romero. Early doors, no, I don't think he's got a chance. I think if Rolly Romero takes this seriously, Rolly Romero should win this fight quite comfortably, and I would expect him to stop Manny Pacquiao. Still a lot of build up to this fight. It hasn't even been set yet. I hope it does. Look, like I said, in terms of who do I want to see Rolly Romero fight, there's literally no one around that I want to see him fight. Give us a name. I'd love to hear what you guys think. What name would you like to see Rolly Romero fight? Because for me, all the names that I would want him to fight are sort of preoccupied. So at the moment, look, if he's going to take a fight, at least we get to see him in action and we get to see the belt being used rather than him sitting on the sidelines till May or June of next year and he's taken 12 months off whilst holding a belt that he won quite easily over Ryan Garcia. So that's just my opinion on this matter. I think Rolly Romero has drawn himself a jackpot here. I think he's gotten a jackpot for no risk in this fight, in my opinion, and a huge reward, because if they set this right on a day that is free, he's going to bring in a lot of money. All right, last few bits of news that I just want to talk about at the end of this video. Riyadh Season have agreed to major sponsorship with Boxer in support of the BBC deal. Yeah, I think that's very good. I think it'll be good for Boxer. I think it's a good way of the Riyadh Season as well being able to find talent, because Boxer will showcase a lot of fighters on free-to-air TV that are building, that aren't at the highest level yet, that might be young, that might be new, and it'll be a way of transitioning them at some point, probably, of saying, you know, we've seen you now on Boxer 3 or 4 times, you've really impressed, we want you on a big Riyadh Season card. The people know who they are because they've seen them on free-to-air TV, and then, you know, you get a supporter base built that way. Khalil Ko has been forced out of his fight against Jesse Hart on October 11th. This is because of a self-described ongoing hand injury by Khalil Ko. I was actually excited to see Ko again. I thought after his last fight against Gallegos in, what month was that? It was a few months ago. Anyway, he was very, very impressive in that fight, especially because of sort of the back end of last year and what we'd seen from Khalil Ko before. I thought this could be a very, very tough fight, and he came out there and wiped the floor with Gallegos, which was very, very impressive. So I would have liked to have seen him fight again this year, but whatever ongoing hand injury he's got, apparently it's completely swollen as well. It's a bit disappointing, especially because we're like a week out from that fight, but we'll have to wait and see on Khalil Ko. All right, guys. Like, subscribe, leave all your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about Manny Pacquiao versus Rolly Romero? Do we care? Do we not care? Is there someone that you would have preferred both of them or either of them to fight? Let us know in the comments below. And I'm out of here, guys. See ya!